Hi everybody, this is a light language transmission for the summer solstice. Um, I have a few things to pull together that have been coming up in the collective energies, and these cards exactly match that. I'm also getting a twin feeling. I've got like twin flames lit, twin flowers. I've even seen these flowers growing as twins, which I'll show you a picture. And these petals have been dropping in love heart shapes, which I'll show you as well. And so there's a lot of love, unconditional love, divine love theme happening, and balance, a lot of balance. I've been working with the 6-6 vibration as well, and being June is 6. Then this morning, after I've been making beautiful, energized, loving products from these petals, the tree is just overwhelmed with blooms this year, so much so that it's overbalancing forwards, and it's just dropping all its petals, and I've been harvesting them. This morning, after doing all that, and it's, summer solstice, it dropped a complete perfect flower of petals on the grass for me. It feels like a gift from the plant and from the divine. It has no center. It is just literally petals in perfect whole blossom of beauty. So there's been a lot of fertility coming in. There's been a lot around the incoming souls, so conceiving the new generation of star seeds and light workers. But yeah, it feels very significant that this flower has dropped in perfect bloom. I have been appreciating these flowers so much, and their petals and the beauty and the fragrance. Yes, so I've been drinking it as tea, as you can see here. I've been making mists and bath, using them in my bath and all sorts of things, face creams, and I put the face cream on and it is just divine. I feel the energy from the intention and the light language that's gone into it, but also just it's so soft and fragrant. It just works on multiple levels. But what it's showing me is that, I mean, I don't remember any other year this tree giving me love heart shaped petals, and it's definitely never delivered a whole flower. So not only is there symbolism in that, but it's also showing us how our love and the light codes that we carry of gratitude and love affect our reality. That the plants do have consciousness, but aside from that, when you love something, like you love hearts, you see them everywhere. The universe shows them to you. It pulls them out of the woodwork, and I believe it actually even configures things in that shape for you. It's your energy doing that. And that's really what this transmission is about your power to affect your reality, and your decision about the choices you make, creating your reality, but also the vibration that you hold. So these two cards have come out. It's up to you, which is again reinforcing your power to choose and to affect your reality. And the 7 of water is about all the different options that you have to choose from and which ones you want to make real. And I love that she's sitting on that lotus flower, because it feels like I chose that card first and then this appeared, and I thought it's like a lotus flower. It's like a lotus flower appearing. It's the closest I could get in my current reality to a lotus flower appearing, and she's sitting on that, and making choices from there. So it's about perfection, it's about wholeness, and it's about what you can manifest. It's about the balance of the masculine and feminine within the self as well. And I see the two also as, you know, emphasizing the polarity, because we're now at the furthest point of daylight in the year, and least dark, most daylight. So we're reaching a polarity, and we're going to be now moving back towards balance again. So I want to read you the cards. So the first one, it's up to you. The end result of the situation you asked about is entirely in your hands. You can affect the outcome by taking a proactive approach to solving any challenges. Stand in your own power and have confidence that you have what it takes to bring about a happy ending. Don't wait for someone else to rush in and take charge. In order to come to a successful conclusion, this situation requires your unique perspective and experience. And the Seven of Water is imagination, fantasy, artistic endeavours, co-creating abilities unleashed. And I like that co-creating, because it's about how we affect everything around us, connect with others, and our combined choices affect realities as well. I'm going to go into that a little bit further in a minute. Now's the time to tune into the infinite possibilities that exist and begin to play with them. Everything begins in the world of imagination, and I seize the opportunity to dream. I allow my intuition and desire to blend in an alchemical way, forming something new. Castles in the air can become castles on the ground when I release rigidity, bend the rules, and remain flexible and open. Limitation and boundaries give way to manifestations. Spirit never doubts the power of possibility, and neither will I. So I like how it refers to spirit there. There's a passage in a channeling book where it talks about how the guides perceive from their level, how they perceive possible futures, and how we're always in control of those possible futures, and how that affects group dynamics as well, and group futures, because we're all part of a collective, and there are different levels of collectives. So we have our work collective or our family collective. They're all people gathering around a particular situation or a particular purpose, right? And it's difficult on the ground for one person to affect everybody else's future, because other people are involved, right? You can, if you're on your own, you can make a decision for yourself, like I'm going to move house, or I'm going to go down to the shops today, at the material world level. But in a job, you can't just say, all right, everybody, now we're going to switch suppliers. There has to be a consensus, and that happens on the energetic levels as well. So in your personal life, just it's easier for the guides to predict based on probability of whether you're going to stay tuning to that particular frequency of the decision you've made and bring that into manifestation in your life. Whether that's going to happen because of the emotions you're feeling, the vibes you're giving off, and what's affecting those vibes, what's interplaying and what you're allowing to interplay. So you can be making a decision to go to the shops, and they can decide whether that is a likely probability based on those factors. And in a reading they can say that, but then they would be more likely to say, well, how you can affect getting the desire that you want by shifting perspectives or clearing blockages, or beliefs beliefs that are in the way, or taking steps along the way, really being determined and deciding and then doing it, how likely you are to do that, or how likely something's going to come up based on how easily you allow change or allow yourself to be distracted, things like that. But when it's a group situation, and this includes personal relationships, romantic relationships, soul relationships, twin flame relationships, it's going to depend on those things within multiple people. So this is from the book Opening to Channel by Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer. And it's just talking a little bit about how guides view the future. So the long-term future is much more variable and difficult to predict, because the number of possibilities increase the further you get into the future. The number of paths you can take between now and then increases. Each decision you make changes the ultimate outcome. Often we deal in probabilities, like your weather predictor. We might see that there's an 80% chance that you'll get the raise you're hoping for based on your intent, desire, and your relationship to your boss. We might also see a 10% chance that you will quit your job, noticing that you have had several thoughts in that direction, and possibly a 10% chance that you won't get the raise because of some other factor. At any time, you can activate the 10% probability and quit your job. So predictions are made based on the probability of something happening. You act with free will to create what you want, moment by moment. Sometimes a person's movement towards a particular future is so strong that it would take a great counter movement to change that path. It can still be done, however. You can change the future. Even the 1% possibility can always happen. The further you go out into the future, the more you deal with essence rather than form. You may have the desire to have a fulfilling job. The thought of a fulfilling job is a thought of essence. The form the job will take, the job title and the description are much harder to predict. We can more accurately predict that you will get in essence, such as the fulfilling job you want, rather than tell you what form it will come in. The future is determined by what you intend to create. If you were to ask, when will I meet my soulmate, my future wife or husband, many guides would be able to tell with a fair amount of precision if someone were coming your way in the near future. We can tell if that's your intent, and we can usually find the soul and energy of the man or woman who is coming. But you may suddenly go through a tremendous growth cycle. You may change your habits and tastes, and thus your vibration. If you do any of these things, you will be capable of harmonizing with a different person. You may attract a different person or a very different experience of the original person who was coming. Most people you're going to meet begin to connect with you at an energy level before you actually meet them, so that if that person has already entered into your energy field, we can be fairly accurate in telling you how soon you will meet this person if it's appropriate to reveal this information to you. This meeting will happen usually within weeks after they've entered your energy field. People are often aware of this themselves. They may say, I think I'm going to meet someone special very shortly. I can just feel it. Sometimes it might be several years before you'll meet a longer term relationship, and we can see a shorter term relationship coming. If we told you this shorter relationship was not your soulmate, it might take away your growth. It's more appropriate to help you see what you're learning and the ways you can be more loving than to tell you if the relationship is going to last forever or whether or not the person coming is your soulmate. Just want to talk about group situations now. Large-scale events are easier to predict because they have energy lines from mass consciousness set up many months in advance. So this is, for example, something happening in your work when multiple people are involved, or something happening on a global scale or a national scale. The psychic weight of these events, the mass agreement around them, the number of people involved make it much harder to stop or change such events. Whereas one person can change his mind and thus change his future easily, an event affecting many people is not usually altered by just one person changing his mind. This phenomenon facilitates prediction of major social events. People connect through their dreams. and that mass events can be changed if there was enough consensus in that spiritual level dream state to do so. And it's only relevant to look at a possible future for someone if it assists their spiritual path. So yes, I feel that's all very important about how we affect ours and everybody else's futures, how we affect our environment and our realities, and realizing that there are many possible futures in there. I did a channeling recently, yesterday, and this is exactly what came up. They kept reinforcing that your full desires for this person are absolutely possible. And it's up to you to continue to keep choosing those desires with your entire being and allow your feet to take you there. So aligning to what your highest timeline is, aligning to your true desires and the essence of them, at that level of the essence of them, and connecting in the dream state with those realities, which you will be beyond your conscious choices, but you can try to remember them, and you can have the intention that you're also working in the dream state with those. And then allowing the physical vessel of you to let your feet walk in that direction. So in this particular situation, the person receiving the channeled information had wanted a new job, and it took her a long time to find one, so her feet had to keep walking in the direction of the job that she currently had. So she had these desires, and what her feet were doing was not aligned to her desires, so she was walking her body in the opposite direction to her desires. And happily she now has a new job that she's excited about, and a couple of days ago was her last day at the old job. And what the guides were saying to her was, now let your feet walk in the direction of your true desires. Hold your desires, keep choosing them every day. Keep choosing those desires every moment of every day, and you let your feet walk in that direction, and you will have it. It's possible. Anything's possible. Things can change in a second. So you can choose that 1% probability and make it happen. So I'm just using the light language now to talk directly to your heart and soul about this, so that you get it on those levels. That it truly is up to you. And relationships with other people and more collective relationships as well, and situations are still affected by you. It's just they may take longer to change, or they may be affected by connecting to people in dream state. And interestingly, my person who had the reading, she's not the only one that quit. About 75% of the workforce quit at the same time. So it feels like there was a general consensus in the dream state to quit their jobs, which is obviously a big karmic lesson for the organisation. And so out of all of those possible futures, possible realities, make a choice and allow it to become real. Ititi ka to, titi ta ko ta. Okay. So it's a powerful time, the solstice gateway. Please choose wisely, and please allow your powerful creative energies to create what you really want in this world going forward now. It's felt like a real turning point. So many people are concluding and old things and beginning new things that are really fantastic, higher level new starts. It's beautiful to see. Hope you can receive those energies and drink lots of water and rest and integrate as much as you need to. Listen as many times as you need. Blessings, everyone.